and welcome back. It's Monday. The weekend just went flew by. I had a much busier weekend than I am used to, but it was very cool because I got to go hang out with Bono and his mates and 50,000 other people in Sydney, seeing you two live, which I have been doing every time they come to Sydney since 1988, when I was a lot younger than I am now, and when mosh pits were okay for me to hang out. But now I like to have a seat. I enjoy a seat. I like a seat. Amazing concert. If you're into big stadium venues, you will not be disappointed with a YouTube experience. I never have been. I've always sat there going, ugh. Just, they know how to engage with a stadium and make it feel like it's really personal, and they do incredible visual effects with their stuff. It's hard to describe. So it's back to Monday and I'm a little weary, and it would be very easy to go weary, but I got to do something today that I don't do very often these days. Hello, lovely Jill Johnson Young. Let me just have a mouthful. I went out to visit a client at his home in the community. It's a one-off assessment and it's a medico-legal assessment, so I just go out there, meet with the client, come home, do a heap of research and write a report. And it's an assessment for the courts, so it's helping the courts make decisions on things. That's not the point of the story. The point of the story is community-based rehab is a passion. I did not realize how much I love community-based rehab and community-based work. So it can get tedious when you're out on the roads all the time. I remember days gone by when I was running a full caseload where I would pick up a car or would just drive to my first appointment, and I'd just drive around the city all day, and you're always looking for a clean toilet and you're always wondering where you're going to have lunch. And there are I've got some horror stories about turning up to people's places, which I think is an indication of something we need to be aware of. My very first community home visit that I did unsupervised and on my own, so this was after the supervision, I turned up to a man who was unwell in ways that weren't known, and he met me at his front door naked with a big knife. I did not go inside to his home. I have turned up to families where it was very extended family and there were lots of people involved in think Samoan village. That's what I walked into. We've had some horror stories where we've turned up to properties and animals have not been disclosed or have been asked to come and greet us, which has been terrifying. But then you get an opportunity like I had today, where I got to go and meet somebody who has had a really nasty injury and it happened at work. And he asked me to go to his home, and from a medical and functional perspective, you kind of go, there's no reason why you couldn't come and see me somewhere. But when you see what he's dealing with across his whole life, it was like, oh, that was completely unreasonable. So this delightful family, which was an extended family, because in some cultures, when you've got somebody earning an income, it's supporting generations, which is what I experienced today. So this gentleman's rehabilitation isn't just affecting him, it's affecting his whole family. So they all felt like they needed a say and they needed to be heard, and needed to express their concerns. And that can be a little confronting, especially if you're new and you're not used to those questions being legitimate. But the dad in the house got very excited when I asked for a Turkish coffee. Not a Turkish family, but it was the easiest way for me to describe what I was looking for. And I was trying to build some rapport with this family. And he got so excited because he got to make me an Iraqi coffee, which is delicious. And it's made with coffee and cardamom. And I had two. So that assessment went really fast. And then I needed to find bathrooms all over the place as I drove back to my home. But having the opportunity to go out and get connected with the work that I love today has been such a joy, because it's gearing down here in Australia and we don't do as much in the community these days because travel costs escalate. When we're stuck in traffic, like we are in Sydney, then we try and do as much as we can online to reduce the burden of travel, and also to reduce the burden on myself and my team, because it takes a lot of energy to be out in the traffic. All that concentration and acknowledging road rules and things like that, that's a load. That's an emotional load and a cognitive load that when we're dealing with the clients we're dealing with, don't know how I used to do 15 of those visits in a day. Jill, I bet you don't know how you got through as many home visits as you did in a day. But I do love community-based rehab, and I am really passionate about it. And I've made choices along the way that I didn't realize that was supporting that passion and that love. But I don't have a center. I don't have rooms that people come to. We use a shared office space. And one of the things that has been a feature of having a shared office space is that people come to us. We have rooms where we can close doors, and it can be as private as any office space can be. But people don't feel like they're coming to another health service or another clinic. So for me, it's about my work, and what I love about my work is being able to help people re-engage with their community, re-engage with the activities that they had in their life before injury, illness and trauma. So having them come and meet us somewhere that feels like work, that feels uplifting, where there's lots of different people around. I've seen people turn up in a suit, and I've never seen them in a suit before. We've had clients turn up and go, what a great place to work. This is a fun place to work. Giving people the opportunity to relate to others and get a sense of what it's going to be like to go to a new workplace or re-engage with a workplace. So it's really interesting when we think about those things that are valuable to us, values. Having a community-based and a community philosophy is something that I haven't acknowledged before that is really important to us. I can't tell you how many frustrating conversations I've had with clients who go to treatment. They have treatment in a room. So that might be physical therapy, physiotherapy, or osteopathy, or speech pathology, or clinical psychology, or counseling. But they, in their mind, they go to that space, and all they do in that space is that treatment. And there's no assistance given to generalize those treatment gains made in a treatment room across their whole life. And I think that's one of the things we do at Purple Co exceptionally well, is we help people integrate those treatment gains into other parts of their lives. So despite today being Monday, and I'm weary today, and I'm a bit emotionally all over the place at the moment, I really appreciate the opportunity to go and meet with this family and engage with this family and rekindle my love for this work. So I'm curious to know from you how you rekindle the love of your work, because there'll be days when it will feel hard and you'll want to go and retrain as a florist, or what else do people retrain? Oh, a food critic or a travel blogger. They're just things I fantasize about, obviously. Or I'm just going to move to Byron Bay and grow tomatoes. That's usually my favorite phrase. But there are things that we can do in our work that re-engage us, that help us reconnect with that sense of passion. So I'm curious, and I'd love for you to post your comments if you're watching this video afterwards. Let me know what it is that re-engages you with the passion and the love and reminds you why I love this work. Because as we get tired and as we get towards the end of the year, we need to connect with this stuff more and more and more. Busy week for me this week. I don't think I've ever not had a busy week. Looking forward to connecting with the entrepreneurial clinician community as we iron out the bugs in time zones, and I think we've gone and completely overcomplicated that, but we'll see how we go now. And I'm looking forward. So if you want in with that community so you can be a part of the call, it's my Wednesday. If you're in the Northern Hemisphere, that'll be your Tuesday. Then you need to sign up and get that all sorted now. Exactly, just do it now, and that way you're in, and I can get all the information to you. Jill, you write. You're a good writer. You are such a good writer, Jill. I am so grateful for you and your writing, and I can have a whole bookshelf dedicated to you. Melissa, lovely to see you here today, and of course my gorgeous sister Adele, who I got to spend time with on the weekend face to face. Yay! Which was very delightful. All right, everybody, looking forward to connecting with you tomorrow, although I'm doing a lot of delivery tomorrow, so we'll see if my voice turns up. Haha, stay tuned for that. Until then, go be your awesome self.